I'm Doc AJ Chua welcoming you to Adjusting Your Heart. Friends add color into our lives and keep us sane during this time of pandemic. So no matter how young or old we are, we need friends. I may not be rich financially, but I am blessed with a lot of good friends. In my previous episode, I shared 7 ways to make new friends. It's one thing to make new friends and another thing to keep them as friends for life. So in this particular episode, I'd like to share 7 simple tips you can apply to maintain friendships. These 7 tips are the things I do, so much so that I have more than 7,000 friends in Facebook that I keep in touch with. Because in Facebook, a personal account will only give you a maximum of 5,000 friends. So I created a new account to accommodate new ones. So some friendships have spanned for decades. And I can truly attest that friendships are blessings from God. And I hope that as their friend, I'm a blessing to them too. So for my first tip, accept them unconditionally. Of course, I would have a lot of Chinoy friends because I'm also a Chinese Filipino. I also have a lot of Filipino friends because I live in the Philippines. But beyond that, I also have friends of different ethnicities who also live in different parts of the world. Look at these pictures taken during the time that I was taking my doctorate in the US. So my classmates, they came from different parts of the world. So it's very nice to interact with them, to learn more about their culture from India, from Israel. My friends, okay, the 7,000 plus friends, they came from all walks of life. Some are middle class just like me, some are richer, some are not so rich. Some are single, some are married, separated or widowed, widowers. Some are young, some are old. The important thing is to be able to accept them and don't try to change them. Because sometimes people have a tendency to want people to be like us. So we would want to change the way they dress, the way they act, the way they talk. But we just have to accept people for who they are. So let's not criticize. Instead, let's encourage and inspire them to be a better version of themselves. Number 2 is make time for them. It takes time and effort to nurture relationships. I realized this when there came a time I encountered a very big problem. And though I have a lot of friends, I don't know who to call. That's the time I decided I need to develop deeper friendships. But of course, time is limited, so you can't be BFF with everyone. Even Jesus showed that. Did you know that Jesus had 70 disciples? But he maintained a closer relationship with the 12 apostles. And out of the 12 apostles, he has the inner circle, wherein he spent more time with them. Peter, James, and John. And among the 3, the closest that he is with, based on the Bible, is John the Beloved. So, it's okay if we choose who to be our closer friends are. So, among my existing friends, I chose those who I think I would want to be closer to. I reached out to them. But of course, it should be mutual, which means that when I reconnected with them or I want to go to a deeper level of friendship and they're not willing, then nothing will happen. If that's the case, don't feel too bad. Just respect their decision. Then just look for somebody who also wants to be closer with you, okay? My mentor, Elder Lee Chen, asked us to draw our circles of influence. You can check out this picture. It's something like this. So you put your name in the center of that circle, and then on the outer circles, you place people based on how important they are to you. Let's say after I place my name inside the inner circle, and the next outer circle, I would place family, okay? And then of course friends, and then colleagues. So you could do that. And based on that, then you set goals to be able to keep in touch with them. Because sometimes we're so busy that we neglect the people who are very important to us. And since we still can't meet in person, then we can do so digitally. Like through Viber, we can call, we can text, we can even use Zoom. And for people who are closer to us, then of course we would want to spend more time with them, right? Like I have several groups of friends. But I have a smaller high school barkada that we often meet 5 times a year. If you can see in this picture, there's Shirley, Marie Chris, G, Tina, and me. So we would take turns treating each other out during our birthday. So we meet at least 5 times a year. But it's very sad that Mary Chris is already gone. But her memories will always be in our hearts. So my friends, let's treasure our friends while they are still alive. And of course, in my high school, we have a original barkada called Seasons Friends, okay? Composed of Annalie, who's now in Singapore, G, Tina, me, and Mary Chris. And we now meet once a month via Zoom. So even though we can't meet each other personally, we can do that via Zoom. And we even have a bigger barkada, okay, with all the other guys and other classmates. We met once last Christmas. But if during that pandemic time, we would meet up for different occasions like Mooncake Festival, somebody's birthday, or when Dr. Leilani Tan came back from Taiwan. So we would have reunions like that. Third, let's celebrate good times together. For instance, greet them during their birthday, whether through text, through Facebook. And some people wonder why, even though Facebook didn't announce their birthday, I would still message them. That's because I already kept their file in my cell phone to remind me that when it's their birthday, then I will greet them. So even though that the last time I taught psychology at Chiang Kai-shek College was last 2002, I still greet many of my former students. If possible, let's also give simple gifts. Let's congratulate our friends when something good happened to them, like they won a game, there's a promotion, okay, somebody is about to get married, have kids, or maybe their kids have some sort of achievement, or they have a new business. So let's congratulate them. And when invited, take time to go. So you can see from these pictures, like different reunions, okay, and now I also attend wedding via Zoom. The fourth one is be there when they need you. When your friend has a problem, listen, pray for them. You can even share a Bible verse that would encourage them. Then, when someone is sick, we could text, we could call, we could even visit if they're not contagious or it's not a pandemic time. Like in this picture, when Mary Chris got sick, of course we helped raise funds for her. We prayed for her, we encouraged her. But in this picture, I also went out of my way to buy some stuff that has pictures of cat in it. That's because she loves cats and she missed her cats. And in another picture, inside that box, I wrote 7 personal letters to her so that she could read one letter every day. And let's say if one of our friends' loved one passed away, let's be there to comfort them. Let's be there to listen. Of course, if it's not pandemic time, if we can go to the wake, that's better. But if you can't, then nowadays, then we can attend the wake via Zoom, and that would really comfort our friends. And try to help in any way you can. Go the extra mile. If they, let's say, if they need help in tutoring and you're good in math, then you can help. Or maybe find sponsors for other people who have difficulty during this pandemic for their online education. And let me share with you how I was able to go to Europe for free. And I got permission to share this. Actually, this story, okay, happened, I was able to go to Europe last 2010. That's because my friend G, okay, you can see from this picture, she's the lovely lady in white seated beside me. What happened was, around more than 30 years ago, their family had a financial crisis. So at the time, she had a very big problem. So I did my best to help her sell her stuff. Okay, I bought some of them, like some stuffed toy. We helped her in any way we can, and we stood by her. And after working hard, probably for around 10 years, she was able to bounce back. Okay, from starting out with the Changi, she was able to have some stores inside SM. And then she remembered me. So one time she told me, Jeanette, did you remember that there was a time when I was very down, financially we're in crisis. You gave me 4,000 pesos. That time, that 4,000 is actually half of my salary. My first salary was only 7,000 because I work at YGC and I want to help people. But I believe that she needed the money more, so I gave her that only once. But of course, when she asked me, did you remember? I said, I forgot all about it. Because when we help someone, we did not expect people to pay us back. And it's not that I'm lending it to her, I'm giving it to her as a gift. So I already forgot all about it. It's only when she told me that I did? And she said, yes. And I remembered, she said, and I know that ever since we're young, one of your dreams is to go to Europe. And you're just working in a Christian organization. And she knows that I came from a middle-class family. So she said, I know that you don't have the money to go to Europe. So she said, so I'm sponsoring your trip to Europe. So I thank God for that. Then I also invited my other friends. And that's also a testament of my previous episode, wherein actually these friends, they don't know each other. They only became friends during this Europe trip. I was the glue, okay? Like for instance, Jennifer and Poshan were my friends from Jersey. Warren was my friend from Chiang Kai-shek. And then Benita Z was my friend from YGC Days. Juville was my former neighbor. So it's only during that trip that they got to know each other, and up to now we're still good friends, and we also have our dinner reunions from time to time. Number 5, build trust. Never badmouth your friends, especially behind your backs. If you need to, then confront them directly. Do not gossip about them. Do not reveal their secrets even after you have a fight with them. Proverbs 16:28 says, a gossip separates close friends. Number 6, learn to resolve conflicts. Don't just cancel somebody. I know we now have a cancel culture, but don't just do that. Sayang pinagsamahan. Don't just unfriend somebody or unfollow somebody. You try to work things out, and hopefully things would work out. If needed, like I said, then speak the truth in love. Confront. You can check out that sandwich style technique in my previous video entitled 3 Practical Tips to Manage Anger. For instance, there was one time that I have a very good friend. I spoke to her in love. I told her that at that time, it was my birthday and she forgot. So I started with something positive, like I said, we've been friends for so many years and you've never forgotten. And actually, I waited several days before writing to you, thinking that you might just greet me a belated birthday. She might be very busy. But when you didn't, I really felt bad, even though literally, I have a lot of friends greeting me, but you're one of my closest friends. So when and of course at the end, I said something positive about her, and then she replied. She said, oh, she didn't know that my love language is words. It's very important. A simple greeting would make me very, very happy, especially from super close friends. So she said, because for her, since we got older, she said she doesn't want to remember her age. So in a way, she doesn't want to celebrate anymore, something like that. But she said, since it's important to you, then starting next year, I'll greet you again. And she did. So we're closer than even before. So sometimes, see, what would have happened if I just said, I don't want to be friends with her anymore because she forgot my birthday. Then it's a waste because we've been friends for so long. And sometimes it's just a matter of communicating your desires, okay? And of course, let's be open for constructive criticism. Let's say, before my friends would complain that I'm a late comer. And they would say, oh, you're always late for, let's say, an outing, a dinner. So eventually I learned. So now, I'm seldom late. I usually come on time. Number 7, let's respect healthy boundaries. For instance, let's respect the time of other people. Don't cancel at the last minute when you made an arrangement with a friend because that friend might already be on the way there and then you're gonna cancel. That's a waste of time and effort. Or let's also be considerate, like don't call at midnight, especially when it's not very important. Is that an emergency? Especially if you know your friend is an early bird who goes to sleep and rises up early. On my part, then I can request people to call me at a certain time. Or let's also not be the type of person who would only contact a friend when we need something, but when they need us, we don't respond or we don't help, because friendship is give and take. That's why there should be healthy boundaries in place. For instance, when a friend turned us down, like I said, oh, can you accompany me to the grocery? But then when that person said, oh, I'm sorry, I can't, I'm very busy now, then let's not get angry. Let's just give that person the benefit of the doubt, but don't give them a guilt trip like saying that, oh, you're always like that. But when so-and-so asks you, you would accompany her. So let's just respect and then find somebody to accompany us, okay? And also, that's also the reason why I'm asking everybody not only to have one friend, because that one friend cannot fulfill all your needs. So it would be better to have several, okay? As many as we can. So my 7 points are: accept them unconditionally, make time for them, celebrate good times with them, be there when they need you, build trust, learn to resolve conflicts, respect healthy boundaries. May all of you be able to find and be that friend who loves at all times, which is according to Proverbs 17:17. And now I'd like to thank some people who have been supporting us, like Andrew Chuadi, Arnaldo Ganaba, Betty Sishong, Carla Tumabaw, Caroline Tanshan, Joanne Alcantara, John Ryan Elevado, Kadieng, May Ledesma, Maria Teresa Chua Ardonia, Marie Judith Cacho, Terry Te, Mark Anthony Chua, Mary Ann Wong, Mary Grace Yu Cheng, Richmond Lau, Robert and Kerry Lee, Roger Lin, Ronald and Shane D, Roxanne Sevilla, Sandy Villacruz, Seldungo, Sheila Tan, Sheila Tipoco, Marjorie Ann Ko, Walter Eric C. So if you're blessed by this video, please like, subscribe, and share it to others. Stay safe!